Hi, welcome back. So in the previous video, we saw how to calculate the financial indicators like NPV, ROI, IRR, PTP. Now in this video, we will see how to do the weighted scoring method calculations. So we can see the table here in the assignment. The first column is the weight of the financial indicator, which is given for each of the variants. Then this is the financial indicator. Then we have all the 4 projects and the total column. So in this case, the financial indicators for NPV, weight of the financial indicator for NPV is 20%, for ROI is 30%, for IRR is 30%, and for PTP is 20%. So first we have to get the values which we calculated from in the previous video, like in the previous sheets. We have got for the project 1, the NPV is 3312, and for project 2 it is 63127. We have to get these values here. So for that you have to just give it like this, equal to project, the sheet name, exclamation, the cell number. So in this case the NPV is in G11. So you have to give that. Similarly for all these cells you have to get the values. Project 2 you have to get the NPV value. For the project 3 you have to get the NPV value. And for the project 4 we have to get the NPV value. And now the total is a sum of all these projects. Project 1, project 2, project 3. So if you click here, it's the sum of these cells. So we calculated the total NPV value for all the projects. Now we have to calculate the project score in terms of NPV. For that, you have to divide the value here, C3 for the project 1, by the total NPV value of all the projects. That is C3 by G3. So you can use the same formula for all these projects. It's going to be D3 by G3. This is going to be E3 by G3. This is going to be F3 by G3. Now when you add all these cells, you'll get the value as 1. This is just the sum of these values. Now we have to calculate the project weighted score in terms of the NPV. In this case, we have to use the weight of a financial indicator. So for that, you have to multiply A3. A3 is nothing but this 20% into C4. C4 is this value, the project score in terms of NPV for the first project. Similarly, for this, it is going to be A3 into D4. So A3 is again 20% and D4 is the project score in terms of NPV for the second project. Similarly, you have to do the same thing. This is A3 into E4. This is A3 into F4. Now you have to get the total. This is a sum of C5 to F5, these values. So we have calculated the project weight score in terms of NPV for all the projects. Now we have to calculate the return of investment, the same thing. So here we have to get the values from the previous sheets. This is 2.92, this is 88, this is 71.56, this is 47.49, and the sum is 210.7. So that is the sum of all these cells for all the projects. Now we have to calculate the project score in terms of ROI, which is similar to what we have done for the NPV. The C6 value of this project, ROI of this project, divided by the total, which is G6. Here in this case, it's just 210.77. Similarly here, it's D6 by G6. This is E6 by G6. And this is F6 by G6. And now we have to add all this to get the total value, which is going to be 1. Now again, we have to calculate the projected weighted score in terms of ROI. So we have to use the weight of the financial indicator, which is ROI, which is 30% in this case. So it's going to be A6 into C7. So C7 is 30% and A6 is this value, project score in terms of ROI for the first project. This is going to be A6 into D7. So this is again 30% into the project score in terms of ROI for the second project. So this is A6 into E7, the weight of the financial indicator, which is 30%, into the project score in terms of ROI for the third project. Similarly, you have to do it for the fourth project, and you have to add it, and you get 0.3. So that's how you calculate the projected weighted score in terms of ROI for the ROI financial indicator. Next, we have to do the same thing for IRR. We have to get the values from the previous other sheets. So here it is this. Here it is this. Now we have to add all this, and you get 164.58%. Now we have to again divide by the total. So in this case, it is 11.43 divided by 164.58. So this is going to be 47.49 divided by 164.58. For every project, you have to divide by the total value. So when you add, you will get 1. This is the sum of all these things, all these rows. Now you have to calculate the projected weighted score in terms of IRR. For this, again, the financial indicator value is 30% given. So you have to use that. So A9 is nothing but 30% into the project score in terms of IRR for the first project. This is A9 into D10. This is again 30% into the project score in terms of IRR for the project 2. Similarly, you have to do this for project 3 and project 4. So you have to add it to get the total. So that's going to be the sum of these cells. So now we have calculated the projected weighted score in terms of IRR for the IRR also. Now we have to do it the same thing for PTP. So you got the values here from the previous sheets, 4, 4 and 3. Total is 15. Now project score in terms of PTP. So that is C12, which is this cell divided by the total 15. This is here D12 by G12. This is E12 by G12. This is F12 by G12, and the total sum is 1. Now in this case, we are also calculating the inverted score, which is G13, 1 by this value, which is C13.266. This is 1 by, again, this value. It's going to be 0.26 because the years are 4 in these 3 projects. This is G13 by E13, and this is going to be 1/3 F12 by G12. So you have to, this is G13 by F13. Now you have to add this together to get the sum C14 to F4. So all these cells are summed up to get this value here, 16.25. Now you have to calculate the projected weighted score in terms of PTP. For that, we have to divide again, because since we have calculated the inverted score, again we have to divide. That is C14 by G14, that is 3.75 divided by 16.25. We are dividing it with the total. So this is D14 by G14. This is G13 by, this is E14 by G14. This is F14 by G14. And when you sum it up, you will get 1 as the value. Now you have to use the weight of financial indicator 20%. So this is going to be A12, which is 20% into this value, which is the projected weighted score in terms of PTP for the project 1. This is going to be A12 into D5, which is 20% into the project weighted score in terms of PTP for the project 2. Similarly, you have to do this for project 3 and project 4. So when you add, you'll get the value as 0.2. Now, once you have calculated all these values, you have to calculate a total weighted score for each project. That means you have to add the projected weighted score in terms of NPV plus the projected weighted score in terms of ROI the projected weighted score in terms of IRR, and the PTP as well. So if you click here, you can see it is C15 plus C8 plus C11 plus C16. Similarly, this is D15 plus D8 plus D11 plus D16. So you have to do the same for project 3 and project 4. For project 4, it is F5 plus F8 plus F11 plus F16. So now you got the value as 7.44%, 32.03% here, 0.318, and these are just the values. Now you simply have to multiply this into 1000, so you get a better value here. So you can clearly understand which is having the highest value. So here it is 74.35. It is 320.25. This is E17 into 1000. So that's going to be 318.05. This is 287.34. Now you can see that by analyzing these 4 cells, the highest value is for 320.25, and that is for the project 2. And the next one is 318. The next one is 287, and the value, the cell with the least one is 74, and that's for project 1. So the final ranking will be 1, 2, the 3 for the project 4, and 4 for the project 1. And we will be selecting the project with the highest value here, that is 320.25, which is project 2. So you have to fill this Excel sheet like this, and you have to answer this question, which project you are choosing in the Word document. So your Word document will be something like this: the NPV values, the IRR values, the ROI values, and the PTP values, and finally the WSM and the answer. So that's how you have to finish this lab. Thank you.